Hello Inklings, I'm Bianca and welcome back to Binks Things. Today I wanted to talk about shopping or not shopping. Low buy / no buy has been kind of a trend on the internet for a little while. I'm currently in the land of minimalism, Japan, sitting on beautiful tatami floor, and we've been sleeping on futons. So you kind of realize that you can live with less. I've been on a living with less journey for a couple of years now. Last year, I started my Project TBR Zero challenge where I made a commitment to read more of the books that I own. I counted 350 unread books, so I made a commitment to read all of my books. But I'm trying to expand this perspective into more areas of my life. And I was shopping a lot less. I did realize that I had a shopping addiction, which I might talk a bit more about on this channel. So in this video, I will be telling you 10 bookish things that I'm not going to buy ever again as a way to motivate myself to never do that. 5 other things I don't want to buy ever again either. And then just general rules for my 2025 low buy / no buy year. Here are 10 bookish things that I never want to buy again. Number 1 on this list is a Kindle. I've become a Kobo girly. I love my Kobo. I have a whole video about why I switched from Kindle to Kobo, which I will leave linked down below. And number 2 is bookmarks. I probably have at least 50 bookmarks. I'm a little bit scared to count them, but I've accumulated bookmarks from so many places, shopping, gifts, making them. So I have enough to last me the rest of my life. I don't need any more. Number 3, books from Amazon. During the pandemic and lockdowns, I got a little bit addicted to online shopping. Books was probably the biggest culprit there. But yeah, no more online delivery. I want to walk into a bookstore and buy a book one day when I finish Project TBR Zero. Number 4 on the list is the next book in a series where I have not read the first book. There are quite a lot of books currently on my shelves where I haven't read a single book in the series, so I don't know why I own more than the first book. Number 5. Multiple copies of books. It's just wasting space as well, and I'd like to own all of the books that bring me joy, and if I own like 5 copies of one book, I'm gonna have a lot less room on my shelves. The other 5 things on this list are not books, but they are still kind of fandom related. The first one is keychains. I really love a keychain for whatever reason. I think they're small, usually more affordable and still really cute, but I have so many keychains. A few of them are bookish, a few of them aren't, but I really don't need any more keychains in my life. Number 7, figurines. I have a few Funko Pops that there's no point, they just collect dust. I don't do anything with them, they just sit on the shelf and gather dust. So I'm not gonna buy any more, and I might try to sell the ones that I do already own. Number 8, random merch that doesn't fulfill a purpose. So I'm a big fan of, like a hoodie with a nice slogan on it, which I do own too many of right now, so I don't need more of those. But I mean more like just random things that you buy just because it's part of a fandom thing that I like. So I'm not going to do that. I just don't see the point in buying something just because it's from something that I love if it doesn't add value to my life. Number 9, advent calendars. There was once where I did buy like a Funko Pop advent calendar for some reason. It was really fun at the time. And then at the end of it, I had 24 tiny Funko Pops gathering dust. So I ended up putting all of them back inside the box, which for some reason I wanted to keep the box. And then I gave that to a friend who can use that for her child. But I realized by the end of that, when you buy an advent calendar, you're not really buying the things, you're buying the experience, the feeling of opening something that's a surprise and you don't know what's in there. I think advent calendars are also quite wasteful. There's a lot of packaging. Usually they use quite a lot of plastic in them depending on what they are containing. But yeah, I'd rather buy 24 things I actually wanted and needed rather than 24 things that I had no idea what they are. And the last one on this list is subscription boxes. So I think a lot of people see it as like a goal to be able to afford some subscription boxes. They've kind of become like a status symbol here on BookTube. So if you can afford Al Craig and FairyLoot editions of books, it's kind of like you've made it in the book world in a way. And I had that mindset for a while. There was a time where I was like, okay, I'll trial it out with a cheaper version and maybe something more local, because shipping expenses are quite a lot to Australia. So I went with like a local option, supporting local businesses, but I felt really unfulfilled. I ended up with a bunch of books that I had no interest in reading. I still haven't read them. And then a whole bunch of merch from books and fandoms that I was not a part of. That's the end of the bookish category. The next 5 things I did want to mention is like in the other/lifestyle category. Number 1 on that list for me is indoor plants. I am notorious for killing them, so I'm not going to buy any more indoor plants. I think if a plant can't survive outside on its own without me like being obsessive and watching over it 24/7, it's probably not going to fit into my lifestyle. The next one on this list is cheap jewelry. I really don't wear that much jewelry, but somehow I always end up owning quite a lot. I think that was part of my shopping addiction, is going into a store and seeing a bunch of really cute things, but then when I go back home, they're actually really annoying, and I maybe wear them like once or never, and they just end up sitting in my drawer. I would like to invest in good quality jewelry that could last my whole life. I have inherited some, which I think is quite special, and I do want to take care of those. I also have a Pandora bracelet, and those charms are not cheap, but I have enjoyed collecting things from special events and places that I've been. So I think having things that mean a lot to me and are sentimental are the things that I actually end up wearing more. Even when I wear a necklace, it's usually a necklace that was gifted to me from my mum or my sister or a friend. Number 3, everything to do with manicures. I have come to the realization that I'm not someone who enjoys things on my nails. I used to get acrylic nails every so often, and every single time I do it, I regret it unless I get it done again immediately afterwards, because they have to file down your nails so much that your nail becomes super weak. Not going to do that again. I also don't want any more nail polish remover. I never wear it. Honestly, I haven't done my nails myself probably in like 5 years, but somehow I still own some nail polish. So I kind of want to get rid of those, and I don't plan on buying any of that ever again. Number 4 is clothes for a different me. So sometimes I go shopping with the idea that I want to change this part of my personality or my look or whatever, and it's just not realistic. That mindset is probably based around when I'm in like a low self-esteem frame of mind, want to change things about myself, but that's not what clothing should be about. It should be practical and fit the needs for your life and the activities that you're doing. I need to get rid of a few of those things that I've bought over the years for different versions of me that have not magically appeared and decided to wear those clothes. And the last thing on this list is junk food as an overall category, and I'm going to include delivery in there. I survived like 20 years of my life without doing that, and we can survive the rest of our lives without doing that as well. No more delivery food. And I also don't buy any candy, sugary treats. The only sweet thing that I buy myself is some desserts, chocolate and ice cream, but any other sweet category I don't spend money on. And I also don't buy any chips or things like that. Now let's get into some rules for the low buy year. The first category is going to be things that I have enough of right now. Number 1 is unread books. I have just under 300, I believe. So I don't need any this year or probably the next 3 years, if I'm being honest. Maybe more. We'll see how we go with Project TBR 0. Number 2, stickers. I have plenty of those. I need to use up all of the ones that I own. Junk journaling has been a great way for me to use up some of the stickers that have just been sitting in my collection for years. Number 3 is washi tape. I have a slight unhealthy relationship with notebook therapy and their beautiful washi tape collections, but I think I've accumulated enough of those right now. I don't need any more washi tape. Number 4, Post-it notes, similar thing there. I don't need any more Post-it notes until I run out of all of the ones that I own. Number 5 is paper. Don't need any paper right now. I have a good stock of paper. Number 6, just general stationery. I'm a bit of a planner supply addict. I have drawers full of supplies. I think it's kind of like that hobby girl brain where I jump between different styles of journaling, etc. But I think I need to go back through some of my supplies and use things that I haven't used in years, bring out my watercolors again, things I haven't used in a while. Number 7, notebooks. I think it was 2 years ago where I thought I would need more notebooks than I did. I have a few that I haven't used yet, so I'm not going to buy any new notebooks until I've actually used all of the ones that I have at home. Then we have only replace if necessary category. First item on that list is hair products like shampoo and conditioner. That type of thing, if I do run out, I will replace that. Number 2, a haircut. I go quite a few years without going to the hairdresser. Most I go is like once every 2 years, and sometimes I just cut my hair at home. Number 3, brow and lash treatment. That's the one kind of beauty thing I spend money on, really. So that's getting my eyebrows tinted and threaded and my lashes, because I'm very ginger and they fade out and I just feel a lot more put together when I have that done. Number 4, skincare. So I do have my little skincare routine. I do wear sunscreen every day, again, because I'm a redhead. So if I do run out of my few products that I use, like my face cream, my face wash, my sunscreen, I will replace those. And then similar thing for makeup if that does end up happening or if they expire. Number 5 is clothes. I probably won't need to replace any of my clothing items because I have more than one of most things. Number 6 is shoes. I have enough shoes. I have lots of varieties of shoes. So the only shoes that I got recently was for like a specific purpose. I didn't have good hiking shoes, so my partner got me a beautiful pair of barefoot wildling hiking shoes, and then my favorite pair of sandals that I wore literally every single day was falling apart, so I replaced those at the end of the year as well, and that was also through like a Christmas present. The final item on this list is pens. I do have quite a few pens that I use for specific things because I teach and I use the different colors for different things at work, just how my brain functions. I will let myself replace the pens that have run out of ink. The final category for this video is things that I will allow myself to buy or spend money on. Number 1 is consumables, so groceries that I need to eat and survive every month. My bills, need to pay those every month. I might reevaluate some of my subscriptions though and cancel some of them. I'll go and see how often we use them and whether I still get value from that. Then travels and experiences, also petrol for my car, things like that. Number 3 is gifts. So I will still buy some birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, etc. And I will also accept gifts from others. Number 4, souvenir from any trip that I take. I have gotten a couple of souvenirs from Japan. I'm not planning another big trip anytime soon, but that is on my just general things that I'm allowed to buy list. I think the main rule that I'm going to stick to in general with shopping is if I don't have a list for it, I probably don't need it and I shouldn't buy it. So that's the mindset I approach going into the grocery store, going into any shop nowadays. That's really how I went from spending a lot of money in impulse buying to buying less. So going shopping with a list is probably my main rule that I'm going to stick to. If you've done a low buy or no buy year, please let me know down below in the comments. If you're doing one right now, I'd love to follow along on your journey. What are some of your rules? If you've watched up to here, please leave your favorite emoji in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Keep reading, Inklings. Bye.